Hi, I'm the Rap Critic, and this was the very first Patreon voted episode. And if you'd like to vote on the next song I review, plus see episodes early and join my Discord, the link to that and all the other stuff you can catch me on are all available in the link tree below. So according to patrons, let's talk about Eminem some more, I guess. Okay, I won't give a whole artist profile like last time, but it's suffice to say, if you listen to the Going Off podcast episode where we did his latest album, Music to be Murdered By, you'd know that he made a lot of challenging choices to switch up the sound of his latest offering. And does it pay off album-wise? Not gonna lie to you, not really, no. But at the same time, it is admirable that he made some artistic changes that brought him out of his comfort zone. But where that impetus gave us something as contemplative and cerebral as making Darkness the lead single, that song unfortunately is not representative of the album as a whole, which consists of a mishmash of ill-fitted club-ready beatwork, uninspired guest rap verses, and weak attempts at a female audience grab with limp love songs and the most insulting element of Eminem's career, Ed Sheeran features. Like, this is the type of guy Eminem literally would have made fun of for making formulaic pop trash. And yet throughout the album, he keeps reassuring us that this is music to be murdered by. I guess if an awkward Young M.A. featured Eminem strip club song and an overload of corny puns causes death by embarrassment, then sure.
Get the plunger, cause Marshall and it may go plumb crazy, call us liquid plumber, cause even Drano.
But with all that said, Godzilla's actually one of the songs I think kind of works for the most part.
I can swallow a bottle of alcohol in her, feel like Godzilla, better hit the deck like some car dealer.
It just hits you with this weird kinetic bouncy beat and a solid intro line signaling the return of the wacky Slim Shady, opening with all those lyrical acrobatics you expect from him.
Shady's in his bitch, I'm posse up, consider it to cost me a costly mistake if they sleeping on me, the husband I get insomnia.
Also, I like how Eminem as a songwriter always makes it so that the ending of each verse directly segues into the hook. It's something I've noticed he regularly takes care to do, making the hook feel like an event that's actually informed by the lyrics that came before it, and letting the featured artists breathe and have their own moment.
Laughing all the way to the bank, I spray flames, they cannot tame or placate the monster. Then tell a bitch go off like a fifth of vodka, when you twist the top of the bottle, I'm a monster.
And then of course, there's the actual hook by the late featured artist Juice WRLD. And look, I'm a level with you, I'm not gonna act like I was some huge fan of the dude before he passed away. But at the same time, I'm not the type of person who feels comfortable cracking jokes on someone who just recently died. It feels in poor taste, because there are probably people who really care about the guy, and I wouldn't want to step on any toes in that regard. Unfortunately, I don't have to worry about doing that here, because this hook is actually catchy as all hell.
When the moon shines like ice road truckers, I look like a villain out of those blockbusters.
I actually think he's brilliantly used in the song, with a 4-bar hook filled with haunting imagery that perfectly matches the playfully sinister beat work. Not sure how much it matters that a designer brand made a carpet, especially if it's getting blood on it, but you know, it's a brag. Fess up, you broke bitches. You didn't even know Louis Vuitton made designer carpets. Meanwhile, I'm so paid, it doesn't even matter that I'm getting blood stains on mine. But, where did the blood come from? Well, unless you have a warrant, I don't think that's any of your fucking business.
That's the capacity. In AA with an AK melee, finna set it like a play date.
And while there's a ton of slick wordplay slathered all over his verses, I can't help but notice some of the punchlines feel like they're there just because he had a play on words he wanted to use and not because it actually made direct sense.
If you never gave a damn, raise your hand, cause I'm about to set trip, vacation plans.
The phrase set trip is specifically used for gang-on-gang violence. And call me cynical, but I'm guessing Eminem the multimillionaire isn't cutting short his brunches with Ed Sheeran to go who-riding in Southwest Detroit.
I only get more handsome and flyer, I got them passing out like what you do when you hand someone flyer.
And Eminem's never been the one to call himself handsome, but okay, I can at least ride with the setup here. Like, for the wordplay on the double meaning of the phrase passing out, that tracks and makes sense. Then you get lines like this.
Cause I caught the flag, but my dollar stacked right off the bat like a baseball. Like kidding, bitch, I got them racks with so much ease that they call me Diddy. Cause I make bands and I call getting cheese a cakewalk. Yeah.
Now, I can't lie, I want to give props to the line for the cheesecake thing. That was a solid reference, but why exactly did he mention Kid Ink? Is he talking about who I think he's talking about? That guy from like 6 years ago who had 2 pretty much identical generic club-ready songs featuring Chris Brown, and one of them was so half-written, the hook was literally about how they were too lazy to come up with the metaphor to describe the girl they're talking to? That's the person you're referencing? Like, what, for cool points? The celebrity references on this song just strike an odd tone with me. Like, it used to be when he referenced someone famous, it was a clear, quick gut punch of a line, but some of these are just bewildering.
This beat is cray cray, Ray J, H A, H A, H A.
Like, why do you keep bringing up Ray J, dude?
Come and shoot y'all like when Fabulous made Ray J mad. So Ray J went straight to the radio station the very next day. Hey Fab, I'ma kill you.
I really don't think he's as relevant to pop culture as you think he is.
Bitch, I'm a player. I'm too motherfucking stingy for share. Won't even lend you an ear.
Wait, is the super rich pop star Cher a cheapskate? Is that common knowledge? Or is it just something you know because you're also a rich person and you probably had dinner with her last week? His celebrity references used to be sharp and witty, but now they're just random and... Whoa, what the hell just happened? Who just punched him?
Mike? M, is that you?
But why, though? Is he still sour about the feud between Eminem and Cannabis from the early 2000s?
I mean, please, man, I'm sorry. Please forgive me.
Oh, so he didn't know it was Eminem? What, did he have like a Vietnam-like flashback to an old match or something? Well, that was a bit awkward and underwhelming, but to keep it real with you, so was the rest of the video. I mean, the song's about how he's apparently this unstoppable monster. For the most part, it looks like he's just drunkenly shuffling around an Office Depot. Not the most monstrous depiction I've ever seen of the guy. Despite my criticisms, I do have to admit M is still leaps and bounds above a lot of guys who just want to impress you with the obscure words they know, more than saying something you're actually gonna remember.
Cause every time I'm digging Harry Carey and Mary a motherfucking dictionary on, I'm swearing up and down they can spit this shit's hilarious. It's time to put these bitches in the obituary column. We wouldn't see eye with a staring problem. Get the shaft like a staring column.
It's like this continual punchline combo where each play on words leads into the next. And hey, if you didn't like that one, well, I just linked it to yet another punchline, overwhelming you by just how many are coming out at the same time.
The original Richard Ramirez, Christian Rivera, cause my lyrics never sit well, so they wanna give me the chance like a paraplegic and it's scary, call it Harry Carey.
And hey, when he gets to the third verse, the roller coaster ride of lyrics becomes so intense you can't help but be engaged.
I mean, you don't wanna be the enemy of the demon who enemy of being a receiving enemy. What stupidity it'd be, every bit of me's the epitome of a spit. If you wanna battle, I'm available, I'm blowing, I'm playing inflatable, I'm undebatable, I'm unavoidable, I'm unevadable, I'm on the toilet bowl, I got a trailer full of money and I'm paid for, I'm not afraid to pull them. Man, stop.
What? Huh? I didn't say stop. Who said stop?
Look what I'm planning.
Oh, is that how you're gonna end it? Just suddenly cutting off the song? No bringing the hook back? No punchline to go out on it? Just a non sequitur phrase that doesn't make any actual sense unless you specifically know the YouTube video he's talking about? And for those that don't know, because a lot of the super lyrical raps he's been releasing lately, recently a YouTube comedian made a joke video imitating his off-kilter cadences and sometimes elaborate, confusing imagery and wordplay.
Look what I'm planning. I'm planning to do all this while you're panicking and you're looking and staring at mannequins.
And it's like, okay, I get it. You're self-aware. Can you please give us a finished song? And I could rock with this kind of ending if maybe the previous lyrics were just loaded with shock rap and a bunch of over-the-top dark humor, and at the end someone was going, all right, cut it out, that's too far. But nah, he was just doing a chain of relatively innocuous multi-syllabic rhymes. And if there's anything enjoyable about hearing something like that, it's that you want to hear where he takes it. You want to feel the satisfaction of the resolution of the flow. But instead, he just randomly cuts the song off before it can happen for the sake of an internet reference that doesn't cap off the song in a clever way, as much as it just kind of reminds you that Eminem is extremely online and it probably self-Googles a lot. Well, overall, I give it a 4 out of 5. On one hand, I want to praise him for still being better than a lot of rappers even on autopilot, but the issue is I can't escape the fact that his earlier stuff sounded way more disciplined than this. With some of these punchlines, it's very clear he just came up with the play on words first and just kind of shoved it anywhere in the song to prove how clever he is. And hey, maybe that's just his aesthetic now, just crafting this barrage of words coming at you, like each lyric is a sting from a swarm of bees, and if one is too weak, hey, here comes like 3 more right on the heels of it. But when you hear a really good punchline right next to a weak or irrelevant one, a lot of it ends up kind of souring the good ones and dipping the enjoyability factor for me. The beat is hype, the hook is fun and catchy, and Eminem is still spitting punchlines, maybe more than ever before, but there's this sneaking feeling of a lack of quality control in the writing process. It doesn't come off like this elder statesman of rap distilling his rhymes down to his best hits, but instead someone expecting you to be awed by the sheer volume of his lyrics without really focusing on the meaning of what he's saying. But hey, I'd rather have this on the charts than the Ed Sheeran collab.
With your sexy ass. Let me holler at you.
It's one of those kind of nights.
Yes.
Producer tags Ed Sheeran and Eminem's creepy friend Bizarre hitting on chicks. The 3 things I never need to hear in an Eminem song ever again. But hey, that's the episode. Leave a like if you like because it helps, comment if you have something to say because it helps even more, and hit the subscribe button and the bell because it helps the most. And if you want to get my merch, follow me on social media, listen to my podcast, or support the show, all the links are in the link tree below. So check all that fun stuff out and I'll catch you next time. Peace.